Part 5, Golden Empire Stories. Man, this is the time when we really started to develop our characters in the direction that it was going, but then it took off right around here, and we started doing a lot more role playing than rolling dice role playing. There's still dice rolling involved, but not as much because you're at role play sometime. You'll understand what I'm talking about. So we got done killing the 18 goblins in the cave, and I know that's very odd that I'm stressing that there were 18 goblins against essentially 3 level 2 characters. We kicked ass. And we leveled up to 3rd level, and we each had an experience. I don't know what their experiences were. You have to ask them. But after the battle, Thunk took the bodies of the 2 dead orcs, his clan brothers that he found there, and he took them outside for traditional. I decided that they burned their dead, like the ancient Greeks, and like you'd see like in the movie Troy, building the pyres and burning the dead. So I did that, and I gathered a bunch of the weapons. A bunch of the weapons of the goblins, and laid them out around the 2 fallen clan brothers, and traditional pyre, and burned them. And as I was doing that, I was visited by an ancestor spirit who basically, I can't remember exactly what he did. There were no words, but I think it was like a pat on the shoulder or something like that from this grizzled old ancestor orc. Made me ashamed that my tusks were so small. Because Thunk does have rather small tusks for compared to a full-blooded orc. Maybe as because he's become a little bit more bearish. Broad, hairy chest. His face is a little flatter. I think his tusks could be a little bit more pronounced now, because as you take the path of the totem warrior, you can take on aspects of your totem animal. So a little bit more of a bearish appearance for Thunk, especially with the headpiece that he's wearing. So yeah, visited by the ancestor spirit as we're, post-battle leveling up, resting, tending to the lady that we rescued, which I think she was a little bit freaked out by us, but especially Thunk a little bit, because half orc, barbarian, human woman, she was a little freaked, and we needed next to return her to her her original destination. She was the only survivor of her traveling party, and she had been headed to the military outpost, which is about an hour or so away from the city. We had passed it. We hadn't gone right past it, but we knew where it was when we had headed down. We didn't go through there, but we knew it was. That's where she needed to go. That's where her husband was stationed. So after we, Jordan had something he could blast the rock cave with. I don't know. Willow wasn't very clear about it, and he hasn't spoken about it much. But And, you know, he's really starting to gain Thunk's respect now that he isn't actively trying to be an asshole to me, and that he's proven himself willing to. He almost died in that battle, and he killed and injured a lot of things. You know, some things that he injured, Thunk ended up killing. You know, I'm not saying I deliberately vultured his kills. It's just I attacked what was closest to me, and if that was an injured goblin, then it was an injured goblin. Chaos. Um, but he fought really well. And he's got the power, the strength, you know, the whole might makes right thing that he can be a little bit of an asshole because he's so good. So, you know, Thunk's respect for him is being established. You know, he's a valuable ally. So we take off. We leave the cave and start heading north back, you know, going towards the outpost. Along the way, we had to sneak around a pair of fighting dinosaurs. One was an Allosaurus, and I think we were supposed to fight this thing, maybe? I don't know if it was designed as something we were supposed to fight or not, but we skirted the fuck around it. We had the lady with us, so we didn't want her getting, you know, snapped up by a dinosaur. Plus, the player that played the dwarf character was not able to make it after this. You know, I hope he comes back eventually, but you know, from this point forward until some future date, possibly, the dwarf player character was not there. So the dwarf falls into the background and then goes off and does his own thing once we get up to the outpost, which is where we went. We split up. Jordan decided to go back to the city and talk to his stepfather, and Willow and Thunk went to the outpost to return the lady to her husband's. You know, got the same "who the fuck are you? I am Thunk, son of Tiberius Squall." Oh yeah, bullshit, you're a fat fucking half-orc, he's a human. First of all, half human. You don't know, maybe he did it with some orc lady. You know, maybe that's the reason that he saved me. Maybe he had fallen in love with an orc woman, tried to, you know, negotiate and had a child with her, and then, you know, the orcs couldn't you know, behave, being evil. You know, he had ordered to, you know, cleanse them, and he killed everybody, but he couldn't kill his own son, and that's why he rescued Thunk. But I think he would have mentioned it at some point in the next 15 years. You'd think. But anyway, yeah, they gave me hassle, and I'm like, if you doubt my word, go ask Uncle Paxton. Paxton Squall, my uncle, you know, father's brother, was an important figure. I believe he's the leader of the outpost, but I'm not 100% certain on that. So yeah, I, you know, spent the night hanging out with my uncle and drinking, and, you know, we have a lot of similar views as being more prone to action than Father Tiberius. You know, a little bit more the ends justify the means is okay with both of us. Anyways, we had a nice night. you know, we, yeah, nice night, you know, bed down for the night, get up the next morning, and this is where things start to get interesting. Next time.